Imagine stepping into a fighter jet for the very first time. The sleek canopy closes above your head, the world outside becomes muted, and all that stands between you and the sky is raw speed, power, and the ability to control it. For most normal people, this experience would be overwhelming. Your hands might tremble on the joystick, your heart races as the jet roars to life, and as soon as the afterburners ignite, you repressed back into your seat with forces you've probably never felt in your life. But now, picture putting an F1 driver into that same cockpit. Someone whose daily job involves handling machines at the absolute limit, pulling G-forces lap after lap, and reacting at speeds that make split-second decisions the difference between glory and disaster. Suddenly, the comparison between a normal person and a professional Formula One driver becomes fascinating. What happens when both worlds collide? What happens when a fighter jet becomes the common ground? First, let's talk about what happens to a normal person. The moment that jet lifts off the runway, you're entering an environment your body has never been trained for. A jet, even a trainer class or something, not designed purely for combat, will expose you to G-forces anywhere from 5 grams to 9 grams in maneuvers. That means your body suddenly feels like it weighs 5 to 9 times more than usual. Your head becomes a bowling ball, your arms feel like they're strapped with weights, and most importantly, your blood starts draining from your brain. That's where things get dangerous. Without proper conditioning or training, a normal person can quickly experience tunnel vision, gray out, or full blackout. Imagine losing control of your vision while still trying to understand the switches, dials, and gauges in front of you. It's not just about strength. It's about knowing how to breathe and tense your muscles to fight against gravity. Assault. Now, contrast that with an F1 driver. These athletes already live in a world of G. On a racetrack, they regularly experience 4 grams to 6 grams while cornering and braking. Their neck muscles are conditioned to keep their heads upright with a helmet weighing several kilograms. They train specifically for cardiovascular efficiency, so their bodies keep pumping blood even when it's being pulled away by lateral forces. So when you put them into a jet, while it's still an extreme leap, they're already familiar with the sensation of their body being pushed to its limits. They know how to manage their breathing, they know how to keep their vision sharp under pressure, and they have the reflexes to react when the environment changes faster than the human brain wants to process. What overwhelms a normal person might just feel like an extension of race day for an F1 driver. But performance is not only about handling G, it's also about mental processing speed. For a normal person, the cockpit of a jet can feel like sensory overload. Lights blinking, gauges moving, a heads-up display projecting critical flight data, the sound of the engines drowning out thought, and the fact that you're moving hundreds of miles per hour across the sky. Your brain struggles to prioritize. Do you look outside the canopy and see the horizon? Do you monitor your altitude and speed? Do you pay attention to what the instructor is saying? Or do you just try to keep yourself conscious while your stomach is flipping? That chaos is part of the learning curve. For an F1 driver, though, living in chaos is the job. On track, they process streams of information in real time. Engine temperature, tire grip, radio communication, speed, track position, fuel strategy, and the proximity of rivals trying to overtake. They make decisions in fractions of a second while traveling at 200 miles per hour. That mental resilience translates into the cockpit of a jet where a normal person might freeze. An F1 driver is more likely to stay composed, filter the noise, and focus on what matters. Keeping control, reading the instruments, and adjusting their actions. They don't panic in high-pressure environments. They thrive in them. Let's dive into design elements, because the machine itself is a character in this comparison. A jet is built with aerodynamic efficiency and raw performance as its guiding principles. Thin wings, swept back lines, materials that cut through drag while withstanding extreme pressures, engines designed to deliver thrust beyond what seems reasonable for human endurance. From the outside, a jet already screams speed. But once you sit inside, the design philosophy becomes even clearer. The cockpit is a small capsule optimized not for comfort, but for function. Every button, switch, and dial has a purpose, often clustered within arm's reach of the pilot. The seat is reclined to help counteract G-forces. The canopy is shaped to maximize visibility, and the controls are built for precision. For a normal person, this environment feels alien, cold, and unforgiving. It's not designed to be welcoming, it's designed to keep you alive at extreme limits. For an F1 driver, however, stepping into that cockpit might feel oddly familiar. The jet's cockpit shares some DNA with an F1 car's cockpit. Both are minimalist environments, stripped of excess. Both are designed to maximize the pilot or driver's control at high speed. And both force the human body into an awkward yet functional position. In an F1 car, you're reclined low to reduce drag and improve balance. Your legs are stretched out in front of you. And every switch on the steering wheel is optimized for quick access. In a jet, the principles are similar. Minimal space, maximum control. That familiarity helps an F1 driver adapt, whereas a normal person might still be grappling with the claustrophobic environment and the intimidating array of instruments. Now, let's think about performance as an experience. A jet is not just about speed in a straight line, though that's already breaking the sound barrier. Hitting Mach 1 or Mach 2 means moving faster than the human brain can truly comprehend in relation to the ground. But what separates a jet from a car is the third dimension. In the air, you're not restricted to left and right or forward and back. You can pitch, roll, and yaw. You can loop, dive, and spin. For a normal person, these movements disorient almost instantly. Your inner ear, which balances your body, struggles to keep up. You feel dizzy, nauseated, sometimes completely disoriented about which way is up. Even seasoned airline passengers aren't prepared for the violent aerobatics of a fighter jet. But F1 drivers have an advantage again. Their bodies are trained to handle rapid directional changes. Every lap, they experience sudden left to right shifts, rapid deceleration from 200 miles per hour to 60 in a couple of seconds, then acceleration again that slams them back into their seat. They learn to compartmentalize the physical discomfort and focus on the task. So while the third dimension is still a challenge, their adaptability and body awareness give them a better shot at staying functional where a normal person might tap out. Another crucial aspect is stamina. Normal people often underestimate how exhausting flying in a jet is. Even a short 20-minute session can leave you drained, sweaty, and sore. Your muscles tense unconsciously the entire time. Your breathing is erratic as you try to resist G-forces, and your adrenaline spikes and crashes repeatedly. After landing, you might feel like you just ran a marathon without training for it. Meanwhile, an F1 driver's body is trained to endure. A race lasts nearly 2 hours, with heart rates sustained at levels most people only reach in intense workouts. They lose liters of fluid through sweat, burn thousands of calories, and their reflexes cannot drop for even a second. That level of conditioning makes the transition to jet flying less of a shock. They still feel the exhaustion, but their recovery is quicker, their breathing more controlled, and their body more resilient to the strain. There's also the matter of skill transfer. For a normal person, even basic flying tasks are monumental. Holding level flight, turning smoothly, and following simple instructions might take all their concentration. For an F1 driver, though they are not trained pilots by default, their coordination between eyes, brain, and hands is so finely tuned that they adapt much quicker. Both environments require anticipating movement rather than reacting late. Both require a connection between what you feel in your body and what you see on your instruments. That cross-compatibility makes F1 drivers naturally suited to learning the basics of jet control faster than a normal person could dream of. Let's not forget the unique selling point of this whole experiment. The spectacle of extremes. Jets represent the pinnacle of aviation performance, and Formula One represents the pinnacle of motorsport performance. Both are machines built for speed, precision, and danger. The idea of comparing how a normal person fares versus how an F1 driver fares is compelling because it highlights just how far human training, conditioning, and discipline can go. To a normal person, the jet is an alien beast that pushes them to their breaking point almost immediately. To an F1 driver, it's still a beast, but one that feels strangely familiar. One that can be tamed a little faster. One that connects to their daily life of pushing limits. The juxtaposition creates drama. It shows the gap between ordinary human capability and what elite athletes achieve through years of specialization. Imagine filming this as a side-by-side sequence. On one side, the normal person takes off, their eyes wide, their grip on the joystick tense, their breathing shallow. The jet banks hard, and they gasp, their vision narrowing, their bodies slumping as jet forces overwhelm them. On the other side, the F1 driver experiences the same maneuver, but their face stays composed. They're breathing steady, their focus locked on the horizon. You can almost see the difference in how their bodies and minds process the same environment. That's the story that resonates. That's what makes this comparison so powerful.